not on the list. He had never tested anything. The lab report he'd texted my sister was a screenshot he'd doctored in Photoshop from a real one belonging to his neighbor. 3 numbers swapped. My results came back at 412 parts per trillion. The EPA's lifetime health limit is 4. While the lab was running my samples, I pulled the original PFAS notice from the county records, the one he'd thrown away. I pulled his text messages to Rosalie, swearing the water was safe. I pulled the doctored lab report and the real one it had been forged from. I had 3 years of receipts from his local fish market proving he'd never bought a single walleye. Every fish he served had come from that lake. I put it all in a black binder. My dad's 65th birthday was 3 weeks later. 40 people at the VFW hall. His brothers, his old fishing buddies, Rosalie and her husband, and Marlo in a yellow dress my sister had bought because Marlo was already starting to lose her hair from the chelation treatments. My dad stood up after dinner and gave a speech about how family was the only thing he'd ever cared about how protecting his grandchildren was the most important job a man could have. He looked right at Marlo when he said it. When he sat down, I asked if I could say a few words. I walked to the microphone with my binder. I read the EPA limit out loud. I read the number from his well, 412. I read the date he'd thrown away the warning letter, pulled from the certified mail tracking record. I held up the doctored lab report next to the real one and let everyone see them side by side. I read the date and amount of every receipt from the fish market. Then I read Marlo's blood panel. The room went so quiet you could hear the ice melting in the buffet trays. My dad's older brother, the one who'd stopped speaking to him for 4 years over a different lie, stood up, picked up his coat, and walked out without a word. Then my mom stood up, then Rosalie's husband, carrying Marlo out in his arms. By the time I closed the binder and stepped down from the microphone, my dad was sitting alone at a table full of untouched birthday cake.